Some songs are, well, they're just songs. But then every once in a while, you come across a song that's an entire world, a whole story with a hero's journey, a moment of pure grace, and a lifetime of looking back. Today, that's the journey we're going on, as we unpack the incredible story told, verse by verse, in Bob Dylan's Shelter from the Storm. So let's dive in. Right from the jump, the song just throws us into this harsh, unforgiving past. These first lines feel ancient, don't they? Almost biblical. Dylan isn't just describing a bad day. He's painting a picture of an entire existence that was just defined by struggle.
So let's really dig into this world that Dylan is building in the song's first act. It is all about the chaos on the outside that our narrator is desperately trying to survive. This is a place where just staying alive is a battle, and danger is, well, it's just the air you breathe.
When you hear the road was full of mud, you can almost feel it, can't you? It brings up this image of a really grim, difficult landscape. It's not about a clear path. It's about this exhausting slog through the mire, where every single step forward is a fight. Now, this is where the moral landscape gets really fascinating. Blackness was a virtue. What does that even mean? It suggests a world that's been turned completely upside down, where things like darkness and cynicism, they're not just flaws, they're actually tools you need to survive.
And you can't get away from the constant threat. That phrase, steel-eyed death, is so specific and chilling. It's not some abstract idea. It's right there, personified, cold, and just relentless. This is a world where men are literally, as the song says, fighting to be warm.
Okay, so after setting that scene of external chaos, the song suddenly pivots and starts looking inward. After everything our narrator has gone through in that brutal landscape, he's not even whole anymore. He describes himself as something barely human.
And then the song just hits you with this complete assault of imagery. He's not just tired, he's burned out. He's not just caught in some bad weather, he's buried in the hail. He's been hunted, poisoned, ravaged, just beaten down by everything around him until there's nothing left but a creature void of form. And then, right there, at his absolute lowest point, this refrain comes in. This one simple line changes absolutely everything. It is the anchor for the entire song. A simple, direct offer of grace in a world that has shown him none. And boom, just like that, the tone shifts. We go from complete despair to a glimmer of hope. The song actually asks us to try imagining this place, this sanctuary, because in the world we've just witnessed, a place like that feels pretty much impossible. And the shelter he's offered, it's not complicated. It's totally unconditional. There are no strings attached, no questions asked. The fact that it's silent, that there's little risk involved, it just highlights how pure this moment is. It's just a moment of complete, unburdened safety. So now, let's focus on the person who's offering this shelter. She just appears almost out of nowhere, like a sudden vision. The song never tells us who she is or where she came from. All of her power is just in her presence and in what she does next. The description we get of her is so gentle, almost magical. Silver bracelets and flowers in her hair. Think about that for a second. The world outside is mud and steel-eyed death, and she represents something else entirely, a whole different reality. Okay, this line is the absolute heart of the song. The crown of thorns, that's such a powerful biblical symbol for suffering. And for her to just take it away, that's an act of profound salvation. She's lifting a weight that he probably thought he'd have to carry forever.
And here it is again, that anchor line. But this time, it feels different, doesn't it? It's not just a promise anymore. It's a fulfillment. The shelter has been given, the burden's been lifted, the promise is now real.
But if you think that's the happy ending, well, the story doesn't end there. We suddenly jump forward in time and the whole tone shifts again. The warmth is gone. It's been replaced by this distance, this cold reality of loss. That sanctuary is now just a memory.
The lyrics really draw this stark contrast for us. Earlier, the silence between them was about perfect understanding and safety. Now the reality is a wall, a barrier that just screams broken connection. All that intimacy has just vanished.
And, with that loss comes regret. The narrator looks back and actually takes some of the blame. It's this moment of really painful self-awareness, that classic feeling of only realizing what you had once it's already gone.
So where does all of this leave him? Well, this is the final act of the story, his reflection on it all. He feels like an outsider, like he's living in a foreign country. But he still carries the memory of that shelter, and that memory fuels this deep, deep longing.
This is his final declaration. It's this realization that something that beautiful and graceful is also incredibly rare and fragile, like it's walking a razor's edge. But that one experience was so powerful, he's now determined to find it again. It's this amazing statement of hope, all born from a single act of kindness in the past.
And, this intensely personal story, it clearly resonated way beyond just the album. It became this living, breathing narrative, one that Dylan himself retold on stage, get this, 376 times.
And that journey on stage, it spans decades. From the very first time he played it in 1976, all the way to 2015. This story of suffering and grace and regret was shared with audiences for nearly 40 years. It just goes to show you its timeless power.
And in the end, the song leaves us right there, with the narrator's ultimate unresolved wish. It's not a statement, it's a question, just hanging in the air. If I could only turn back the clock. It's this longing for that one moment of shelter, a feeling I think we can all understand. And it leaves you wondering, what storms are we all looking for shelter from? And what saviors might we have lost along the way?